Hello and good evening. Let's see. Okay, that always seems to happen when I'm about to go live on a podcast. What is it with my phone? Okay, all right. It's on DND now. Hello and good evening. It's time for the Blockchain Mastery Podcast. My name is Titi Oyinsan. Appreciating each and every one of you for joining us each and every time we go live. Now, this podcast was put together for a number of reasons. Now, blockchain technology has taken so many different twists and turns over the years, and there's still so much to learn, and there's loads of time to learn it. But it's about being intentional, it's about being deliberate, about ensuring that people get the information they need at the right time. And now is one of those great opportunities. Today's topic is a really interesting one, and this is how it goes. Joining blockchain communities and forums for career growth. Yes, people in blockchain tech have built careers. They are not swindlers. They are not just kids messing or fooling around like some people think. People have built actual careers from blockchain, Web3, and so much more. I'm going to put on my headphones now just to look more professional. No, actually, I just want to check the sound. But we've been doing this for a while now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that sounds so much better. Okay, here we go. Aha. Now I can hear myself. All right. So yeah, joining us on Blockchain Mastery Podcast today is gonna be a really interesting one. Now the industry is expanding over and over, larger and larger. The importance of community engagement and networking has become more apparent than ever because word of mouth has been a key way for blockchain and information about this technology to get around. Online blockchain communities and forums offer a unique platform for professional enthusiasts and newcomers to connect and learn, share knowledge, collaborate on innovative projects. And these communities are a vital resource for career growth right now, providing opportunities for learning, networking, and so much more. Today's topic is going to be discussed with me and Joseph Okeke. He is a Web3 content writer and community builder. In terms of building communities, you might not think of communities in the physical sense of the word, like estates, even though there is, I hear, a Bitcoin village, Bitcoin blockchain village being built somewhere in Nigeria. We'll talk about that one day, very, very soon. But what I'm talking about is the online communities and forums, which have become the place where your auntie, your uncle gets all the information he needs or she needs about different things that are happening all over the world. And it's about time we figured out what's what about these communities, the do's and don'ts of these communities. What is it about these communities that makes them secure or safe? What are the things to look out for? Those are the kind of things we want to have a discussion with Joseph about. Hello, Joseph. How's it going?
Hello, good evening. My name is, thank you for having me on the show podcast. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate the work you've been doing so far on the one-on-one with Titi
Oh,
podcast.
okay. So
Yeah.
is it just me? Are you a little bit nervous, Joseph? Are you
I
just a
know.
little bit
Yeah, I'm not nervous. No, I'm not
nervous?
nervous.
Okay, all right, all
Yeah, I'm not nervous, but then
right. What
okay,
is
so
you've been
I'm
looking for?
Okeke Kene Joseph, and then I'm a Web3 community manager and a content writer. I've
Okay.
been in this space for a while. So
How long is a
yeah.
while? Tell us about your journey. How did it begin?
Okay, I should talk about my journey.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I've been in this space for, I say, 3 years now, 3 plus years. Although I knew about Ethereum. The first time I saw Ethereum was in 2018, but I didn't pick interest in it then. I was pursuing something else. So, it was during the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic. I got to pick interest in this space when a friend told me about Ethereum again, and then there was this smart contract primate something then that if you refer to people under you, you get to the next stage, something like that. That wasn't actually got interested into cryptocurrency. So I was trying to figure out why it was the price increasing. And I read articles, watched videos.
This was as
Yeah,
far back as 2020. So this is about 4 years in the space
yeah,
now.
yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah. So it's a real big jump from, just learning about it, transacting in it, and asking questions to actually becoming a content writer. Like that
Yeah.
is a big deal. It's a big jump. But you can let us in on how that happened?
Okay. All right. Being a content writer, it's actually a big job because as a content writer, you are conveying information. And for you to convey information, you actually need to know what you are conveying. Yeah, you need to know what, yeah, you can't just, it's what you know about you give out. So being a content writer requires dedication, requires discipline because the blockchain industry is a rapid industry. New techniques are coming out every day. New things are coming out every day. In short, every two weeks, there's always a new trend. So you have to keep up with trends. What is trending? Write about it. Use it to get, write about it. Enlighten people about blockchain technology and all that. So being a content writer is actually, it's not easy, but it's easy. It just comes down to discipline and being updated with industry trends.
Mm, mm. Industry trends are such that you need to keep your wits about you. You have to make sure that in everything you do, you've got all the right information. But there's so much information out there that is confusing. So much information out there that has given people cause for concern. So what do people do to disseminate, to differentiate the right information from the wrong information? What do they need to note before they join a community? Talk to us.
Okay. Do you mean the content writers or the audience?
I'm talking about the audience now. So I'm coming from
Okay.
an audience perspective. I'm a member of your audience now, and I'm
All right.
thinking of the community. What's the first advice you would give me?
Okay. If you're looking for a community to join, the first advice will be the purpose of the community because there are communities out there. There are communities based on that focuses on career growth. There are those focused on networking. There are those focused on personal development. There are also those focused on industry trend. So it depends. So first of all, you get to know what the community is about. For example, you can't join a trading community and you say you're a content. You can't join a trading community and you say you want to network with community managers or content writers. You mostly see traders there. Although you might see one or two content writers, but then you mostly see traders. So first of all, as someone who wants to get into a blockchain community, you have to know the purpose of this community. Is it a community about a project, to know more about a project, or is it a general community, or is it a networking community, a trading community, a content writing community? So the first thing is to know the purpose of the community before joining.
Mm. Can you share with us the first community you ever joined or you were ever invited to, and what it was all about? Was it a
Okay.
legit one or was it not a legit? If it's not a legit, don't tell me. Tell me the first legit one.
Well,
Because
do you
because
mean
sometimes you find
blockchain
yourself in
community?
places, sometimes you find yourself in places and you don't have much of a choice.
Yeah,
Maybe a family member or a very good friend invited you and you can't leave. Those kind of
those
communities.
kind
So
of things.
exactly. Talk to us.
Okay. Are you talking about the first blockchain community I joined or the first
Yeah,
community I joined in general? I love it too.
blockchain community. Blockchain
Okay,
community.
blockchain community.
Mm.
I can't remember the name, but I know there was this community then that during that 2020. I think I can't remember the name. I don't know if it's still in existence, but it was they used to share airdrops updates in the community. It
Okay.
was airdrop something, airdrop app, airdrop something. So and then
So
and
what
then, and again,
the
they use the
rule?
community to get referrals for that pyramid scheme that time. Get to referrals and then go to the next stage.
There are a lot of things like that all over the place, and people are skeptical. People don't know, whether to believe these people that they meet there, because they're all strangers essentially. Maybe
Yeah,
one or two people maybe you see some big names, you can't even really truly be sure if these people are legit or just looking for a way to build their own business and leave you hanging at some point. So, what are the things you need to look out for?
Okay. Before joining a community, you need to look out for who is inviting you. Uh, it's usually easier to build trust when you have been invited to a community. So you look out for, like I first said earlier, the purpose of the community. Then you look out for the head of the community because it's very important. So I don't get headed by a scammer. Some people create communities to scam people. I know a friend last year who joined the community. He said he wanted to learn AdMob. So he joined the community and then the guy was just posting updates, fake screenshots, fake videos, fake, alternated videos and all that. And then the guy paid to learn the thing he wanted to learn and it was blocked.
Mm.
And it was blocked, and that was the end of it. So you need to look out for the edge, the pulse
Mm.
of the community, and then you can also see when you get a legit community, there's a way. There are things they discuss. When you get a community, there are things they discuss about. You know, for example, now you don't get a community and they tell you that will make you 500K in a day. Just invest 100,000 naira. And I've got someone shared something to me.
Mm.
He said, I should join this community that the guy has a bot, trading bot, and then that the bot is to make 2 ETH, that is 2 Ethereum in 3 days. And that the
Mm.
bot used to trade itself. It's a sniping bot, blah, blah, blah. Now, as someone that is knowledgeable about blockchain and trading, I know that there is way, but there's no way a bot to making 2 ETH in 3 days. The guy was saying even in a day, sent video, even in a day. I mean, this is a bot. You need to have a strategy. There are things you will look out for. And someone making 2 ETH in a day won't even have time to be.
Mm.
It will be busy making this 2 ETH. You want to make it to. We love to turn that 2 ETH to 5 ETH daily. Are you getting me? So I didn't join the community actually. I checked out the guy YouTube's channel and I
Mm.
saw bots all over on the comments saying this is nice, this is nice, this is nice. So you have to do your own personal
Yeah.
research on
Research.
the person.
Okay.
When I saw it, I was like, nah, this is not legit.
Of course, of course. Which is why we have this conversation. This is why we talk about things like this. A lot of people are susceptible. They fall prey to people, who give false claims, and oftentimes, if all that glitters is not gold.
Yeah, true.
um,
Like literally,
sometimes once it's too good to be true, it most likely is not true.
yeah.
But now we've talked about the negatives, which people would have wanted us to touch on.
Okay.
But let's
All
talk
right.
about the positives now.
Positive.
So the
Okay.
real online communities, the actual Web3 blockchain communities
Community.
are helping people build careers. Can you give an example of maybe a success story, an example you can give me, maybe even if it is with yourself?
Okay. So there are so many online blockchain communities you can join. So many. I know of a few. I know of Alpha Blocks. I know of iBlock. I know of Web3 Bridge. I know of Blockchain UNN. I know of there are so many communities you can join online. They are legit communities. And joining legit communities gives you access to learning and development because everyday discussions are happening in these groups, and then you have up to date knowledge. For example, someone can come in and say, "Oh, Gary Slayer said this." That is the CEO of not CEO, yeah, CEO of BlackRock. He says this, and then you get updated that this is what this man says. So there are some key industry players that their words alone move markets. You get so you get to have up to date knowledge on information, and then if you go through discussions and see most times they discuss about news, discuss about current airdrops. So one of the benefits of joining a community is learning and development. It aids in learning and development. It also enhances your skill because you get to interact with people in public. Are you getting me? Another benefit of joining legit online communities is networking and connections. You get to network with like minds. For example, I'm in a content writing community, and then if I make an article or if I make a Twitter thread, I post in the community. for them to engage, for them to support. And yeah, and we support each other. So it helps with networking. You network with fellow content writers, can even collaborate. Okay. You
I'm
can also,
here.
all
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Wait, did you miss me for a second there?
You know, no, no, no.
All
Yeah,
right.
I did
So
miss you though. Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something.
Okay.
Um, of- like right now, um, most people want to see something tangible. They want to um, understand the possibilities, like the type of discussions that happen on these platforms, active participation. How exactly does this improve one's knowledge of blockchain? For instance, is there something specific you learned on a platform that you can share with us right now that you probably wouldn't have learned if you weren't on that platform?
Okay. Yeah, there are so many things I've learned on different communities. I'll give an example. Uh, Content writing. I learned it from a community. Now, there was this boot camp I joined, and they invited the speaker to talk about content writing. Although I've been a writer, but I really haven't taken it I really haven't taken it professionally. So when after the boot camp, people talked about she talked about ways in which you can get ideas to write. She also talked about platforms in which you can use, And so if I wasn't in the community, I won't be, how I put it, I won't have the opportunity to get to know more about how to write Web3 content, because writing Web3 content is not like writing newspaper articles or magazines. There's a way you structure it. There are ways you use. There are hashtags you use. There also, there are methods you use in writing Web3 content. So content writing is one of them. One of them. And
Where do you post your content? Where do you post your content? Where do you
okay,
post?
I post my content on Medium and Twitter. I also
Okay.
post on Medium and Twitter majorly for now.
All
Medium
right.
and Twitter.
I'm gonna ask you to. There's a chat link here in. Of course, we also have our comment section open here. If anyone has any questions about any
Okay.
particular community, if anyone is worried or doubtful of a particular community, you can also put it in the chat here and ask us, and let's see if we can, clarify if it's a legit community or not. It's just an opportunity for us to find out more about these communities. So I sent a hi in the private chat. Can you see it on screen? You can.
Okay, yeah, I can.
So maybe if you put the link in there, so I can share my screen and let's show people exactly what the content you've created on that platform. Let's see.
Okay, all right.
All right. So I'll be standing by for that. But meanwhile, I'm thinking about strategies for contributing in these discussions, because it feels like if you don't participate in these communities, if you don't actually engage with people, people might not engage with you. You might be new, you might still be observing. What are the kind of questions newbies on these communities can ask that will help them move along? For instance, with your content writers communities, what are the sort of questions you should ask to get an engaging and informative response?
Okay. You can ask questions about, like I said earlier, you can ask us about platforms you can use to publish your content. Yeah, that is one question you can ask, and people will be willing to help you out. You can also ask about probably recent, it does content writing. You can get idea from anywhere. You can ask about videos on content writing. You can ask about resources to learn content writing, and then people will on their own give you links and refer you to videos they have watched or videos that actually help them when as a content writer and all that. So there are so many things. You can also ask about collaboration. You can collaborate with someone. Yet if there's somebody that you like the person's style of writing and all that, you can reach out to the person like you want us to collaborate. So
Mm.
it's actually
I,
not limited.
I can see Alpha Blocks, Alpha Blocks .org. Is that the site? What site am I looking for? Alpha Blocks, you said, right?
Okay. Yeah.
.org or .ai? Which one?
I'm coming and give me a minute.
Okay, sure. Got you. For those that are just tuning in, this is Blockchain Mastery Podcast. We are doing what we can to learn from Joseph Okeke. He is a content writer and community builder, and we're talking about joining blockchain communities and forums for career growth. There are a lot of people who just don't understand the strategies to effectively contribute to discussions in blockchain forums and communities. They don't understand how to participate. They we probably want to get freelance gigs on these spaces, and Joseph is going to give us some insight into how to make that happen. Now, Joseph has been in the space since around 2019, 2020, and he's been doing this back to back. And as you can see, the guy is making his money and he's doing his thing. So we decided to have him on Blockchain Mastery Podcast today. If you'd like to comment on the podcast today, you can just use the comment section of whatever platform you're using to watch or listen to us from. We're live on YouTube. We're also live on Instagram. We're also live on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and many other platforms. In fact, wherever you get your podcasts. All right, then I can see you're trying to type there. If you can find, have you found the link yet? Have you found it yet? Okay, Joseph, did you just mute yourself? I think you muted yourself.
Nice.
Okay, all right, you're back. Are you back? All right,
I was searching for something or something I wanted to. You asked me where I do post some of my content. So I wanted to share.
You can actually share your screen from that end as well on this particular platform. Okay. If you can't send the link, you can always share your screen. I'm really interested in finding out more about this. So platforms, online blockchain communities, is that a place where you can find mentors? What role do mentors play on these communities? Can you share with us?
Okay. Having a mentor in the blockchain space is actually good because there are some steps, as a mentor, there are decisions or steps you have taken, and instead of you to go through those steps, will help you, help you with advice and then ease the journey for you. So having a mentor, it's possible you can get mentors from blockchain community. For example, I have people I reach out to when I want to know about something. I have people I reach out to if I want to know about for example, now how to organize a real life event as a community manager. That's why I reach out to see, I'm about to organize this. How do I do this? How do you guys do this? How do we do this? Reach out to people because whatever you're planning to do, someone has done it before. Yeah, so you just have to go back to those that have done it before and ask them questions. There is this event we just finished at iBlock. It's a 5 days of DeFi event. And then before I started the event, I reached out to people. People I reached out to, we're about to host this virtual event for newbies. People who don't know much about DeFi and blockchain. How do I do this? How do I get to invite speakers? The platform I will use for registration. So having a mentor is actually important. If you can get one, fine. If you don't have one, you can still. If you don't have one, if you have peers who are in blockchain or the same space with you, can still succeed. If you don't have one, but if you have one, it's very fine. But if you don't have one, you can still succeed with your peers. Those who are interested, forgotten the word. But those who are interested in this space.
Enthusiastic, I think you're trying to say.
Enthusiastic. Thank you.
Exactly. So in truth, having a mentor is a good thing, but it does take time to find one. Now, but joining a community is key. Yes.
Yeah. Community.
Right.
Yeah, I will send my Medium link now. Medium
okay. I've seen your
this is my Twitter.
I've seen your X link. It's making me sign in first. Okay. Send the other link you wanted to send as soon as you can. And I'll see what I can do at my end as well. Right. Okay. So when I plan to have a conversation with you, and I had read in your profile that you're a community leader, sometimes they say, oh, community leaders have certain types of personalities. Oh, you have to be outgoing. Oh, you have to be energetic. Oh, really
Yeah.
uh, a talkative, or that kind of thing. You have expectations. This person has to be like an extrovert or something like that. But you have led communities, and you don't strike me as one of those type of people, that is always in everybody's face and always, chatting on the group and all that. It takes a certain type of personality to run communities, right? So what advice would you give to someone who is shy or maybe even hesitant about engaging in blockchain communities? What would you tell them?
Okay. The advice I give to someone who is shy and engaging in public communities is just do it. Just do it. I remember when I was in third year, I joined the I4G community, Inclusive for Good community, and then the person that lead me was Daniel, son of Krypton. Yeah. So I was asking him about something in tech, about blockchain, and then he said, join this community. Because then I was interested in software development. In this life, we try a lot of things. So then there was this cohort I was in ALX. So he said, join this community, I4G. I joined the community, and then I asked him the question. He said, go and ask it in this community. I was like, why will I ask? What if nobody replies me? What if, now there's this fear of nobody will reply you, or they will snub you. Basically, that is a major fear that they will snub you. I what of He said, ask in the community, and he did not reply me again. So I said, okay, fine. I asked the question in the community, and then I got replies. So since then I've been free. So that was one of the best encounters I have. So if you're out there and you're shy about asking questions in the community you are in, is actually, I know not everybody is extroverted, but then ask questions. Just do it. It won't bite you. You won't die. I mean, you don't know the answer to the question. So what is the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is that that they will snub you, and it's not possible they will snub you. It's not possible. There'll be somebody that comes and want to help you out. So if you are in an online community, ask question. Ask it. You won't
Okay.
you won't get beaten by a dog if you ask question. There's nothing there. Just
Okay.
ask.
So now these articles and things you post on Mainstack. Talk to us about Mainstack and what that community is about.
Okay. I can't see.
Okay, it's your blog. It's Mainstack, right?
Yeah. You can check my Medium. My Medium is where I post my main article. I don't seem to find the link from my end there, but
Okay, no problem. I have your Mainstack, and I have some of your your posts here,
okay.
and you have quite a few articles here that look really interesting, talking about what blockchain is all about, what next gen AI powered blockchain is all about, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can also see your Twitter feed right here. So this is one of those platforms that is specific to blockchain community, people that understand Web3, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a blog site.
No, main stack is more like a portfolio site. Or like,
Portfolio site.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
portfolio.
Tell me more.
Okay.
Portfolio site. Once you've written articles, this is okay. When you say portfolio, to showcase the work you've done, yes?
Yeah, basically showcase
Okay.
the works you've done. In this space, you need to have proof of work. And one of the ways in having proof of work, if you're looking for jobs, is having a portfolio where your recruiters can go and check you out and see the works you've done.
Mm,
So,
mm.
get out on something you posted there. So that when you're looking for jobs or any job opportunity come by and they ask that what's your portfolio, you can just give them the link.
This is what you
And
send
also good
out.
if you have your resume, yeah.
Okay, all right. So on Medium, I'm seeing this Medium page here. I'm not signed into Medium,
Okay.
but I'm seeing an article here on next gen AI powered blockchain. This was from last year. Neutrinos testnet. That's what I'm seeing on this page. Can you see this page?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
I can say
Okay. So I know that this gives you a lot more insight about different activities happening in the space and airdrops and rewards, etc., etc. But I'm wondering if there are communities for newbies that you would say have, made a serious impact for you, for people that are fresh in the space. If you have never tried it before, is there any particular community that you would, I don't want to use the term advise, they say you can't advise people anymore. People should do their own research and all that. What site impacted you the most? What platform?
Okay. I know a few communities.
Mm,
Well, there's iBlock community, and there's Alpha Block, there's Blockchain UNN, Fan UNN, there's
okay.
the Root community on newbies. So there are so many communities out there. Basically, if you're in university, if you ask around, I'm sure there'll be a blockchain community in your university. But these few I've mentioned, they're actually good communities you can join. So as a
So
newbie,
it's actually it's so interesting. You mentioned blockchain UNN. I think we had one of the founders of blockchain UNN
it's
on
nice.
blockchain mastery not too long ago, and that was really
Kelvin,
exactly.
yeah, I
Um,
saw the video.
Thank you so much for mentioning that particular platform, because they've also been consistent. They've been there. They've also created, they've had many events that people have been able to connect with and actually meet in the physical, not just even online.
Yeah,
But I know that you're always available on X and I think on LinkedIn. Am I right? On X.
yeah, I'm good on LinkedIn too.
All right. And I honestly, I can't wait to see what other articles that you work on as a Web3 content writer. Thank you so much for joining us on Blockchain Mastery Podcast today.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I want to say that joining community is very vital as for career growth in blockchain. It's very
Mm,
vital because you get access to resources, to tools, to job opportunities. So if you want to upskill yourself, this and like I said before, it's a very fast paced industry. You have to upskill yourself. So you get access to resources, boot camps, opportunities. It cannot be overemphasized. So if you have the opportunity of joining a community, I would advise you join the community and be active in the community. Because when you're active, you showcase yourself. The head of the community might actually get an opportunity to be like, this guy is very active in my community. Let me try him out and get in it. And don't be shy to show people what you do. If you're a content writer, those notes in your phone pad or your jotter or your diary at home, post it online for people. Like, people who know what you are doing except you tell them this is what I'm doing. You have to showcase yourself. If you're a singer, if you're a musician, if you don't record it and leave it in your phone. So if you're a content writer, don't just write it in your notepad on phone or your diary in with pen and paper. Post it out there. Post those stories, those articles, those topics you actually love. Put it out there for people. Use it to make money. Use it to earn something. You won't get the recognition you're supposed to get if it's in your phone. And there was something someone I attended a tech event last month, and there was something one of the speakers said. He said that most times the opportunities are not given to the. He said the opportunities most times are not given to the best. It is given to the best known. That opportunities are most times not given to the best in a field, but it's given to the best known in a field. So you could be the best content writer, and if you are not putting your content out there, you don't put your content on social media, X, Medium. There are so many blogs you can put your content out there. You won't be given opportunities most times. So it's given to the best known and not the best. If you are the best and it's in your diary at home or in your phone, in your notepad, locked, you're going to use pin to lock the content. So whatever you are doing, yeah, it shows. People usually lock their personal diary, and
Yeah.
then so whatever you are doing, don't be shy to showcase yourself. Put yourself
Mm,
out to the world. Like, you will see, what's the worst that could happen? There's not
mm.
like the worst that could happen is that you are not it. So there is no worse again. That is you're already in the worst. Just shoot your shot and give it a chance. See.
All right then. And of course, for those of you who are always worried about getting burnt, the truth is there's more learnings once you've made a few mistakes. At least you've learned 10 ways not to make that mistake again. But when we have mentors and communities like the one that Joseph just mentioned, like Blockchain UNN, we've had them on the show before as well. If you have mentors like that, you can always ask in those communities about other, opportunities that you're not so sure about. So you have something to work with. Joseph, time has really flown by, but thank you so much
Yeah,
to us today.
yeah. Thank you so much for having me too in the show. I'm honored. Thank you very much. Very much.
All right,
Yeah.
then. For those of you who are just tuning in, that was Joseph Okeke, and we've been talking about joining blockchain communities and forums for career growth. No matter how introverted or simple or even sometimes silly the question might seem, having a community to ask questions and forums like the ones he mentioned is very key if you want to try something new in a space. There's a lot happening in the space that I probably wouldn't have heard of or heard about if I wasn't a part of quite a few communities. I wouldn't have the confidence to put together a whole podcast around the topic. I have quite a few mentors in the space as well. um, Shout out to Dr. Tale. Shout out to Coach Koshman Lami Koshemani. Shout out to the blockchain dollar machine herself. I've had quite a few mentors in the space who've guided, advised, led, reeled me back in a few times. And yeah, I've learned quite a bit over the years, but it does take a lot of learning. Um, Now, let's see what we can find out from the news and what's happening in crypto now. Yeah, so as at the 23rd, I had an update I wanted to share on the 23rd. I didn't get to. The question is Frank Templeton, he's eyeing Solana ETF after Ethereum's success. Now, Frank Templeton is one of the first firms to issue a spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund. That's a ETF, right? In the United States. Now he's optimistic. They are optimistic about more cryptocurrency ETFs, including a Solana project. Now Solana has gained ground quite a bit over the past 1 year. It was being worked on for the past 3 or 4 years as a more user friendly, more a faster, smoother language or platform to use in terms of blockchain products. Now, besides Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are quite a few exciting major developments that we believe will drive the crypto space forward. That's what he said. And he wrote that on X on the 23rd of July. He also said Solana has shown major adoption and continues to mature, overcoming technological growing pains and highlighting the potential of high throughput and monolithic architecture. When it comes to Frank Templeton's statement about the potential of an ETF, a lot of people have moved away from just investing in tokens and coins themselves and actually taking ETFs seriously. Now, for those that don't understand what an ETF means, essentially it's like if you did buy an ETF on the US stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, rather, you would be buying baskets of stocks that have to do with companies in a particular field, maybe tech or pharmaceuticals or I don't know, food chains or FMCGs. If you bought baskets of stocks like that, you could be investing in an ETF. Now, it's the same for uh, blockchain ETFs as well. Different blockchain companies are, coming together to create their own baskets of stocks, essentially. And I have to tell you, it's been a really lucrative thing for quite a few people. And even on major stockbroking platforms, Bitcoin ETFs are being sold and bought every single day. So if you didn't understand what the ETFs were all about, yeah, that's what it is. Baskets of stocks in companies that are based on the blockchain. All right. So now Ethereum ETFs just popped up last week. Was it last week or earlier this week? Yeah, no, last week. And yeah, now people are thinking about Solana having their own ETFs as well. So yeah, if you are worried about the actual token or coin itself, fluctuating, going up and down, why not invest in the companies that are based on those blockchains? You never know. It might be that little bit more security that you are looking for. Now, let me talk a bit about the Ethereum ETF. It debuted with $107 million worth of inflows on the first trading day for Ethereum ETFs. That was a 8 new products posting 106.6 million in net inflows, despite the onslaught of outflows from Grayscale's freshly converted ETF trust. Now, Grayscale have already put together a Bitcoin ETF beforehand, and apparently they were supposed to be right there for the ETM, or rather ETF trust, ETFE, right? But now let's talk BlackRock. BlackRock and Bitwise ETFs led the pack. They, that's BlackRock's shares, the ETF, ETHA. They're taking about $266.6 million, while Bitwise, that's Ethereum ETF, they notched about $204 million in net inflows. Now, these amounts of money I'm talking about. Obviously, they, to the average ear, they do sound huge, but when you think about it, there was still a little bit of an issue when it came to Grayscale, because Grayscale were the front runners. They were the company that everybody was looking forward to seeing take the lead on this. But it was a substantial bleed when a Grayscale Ethereum trust ticked over in outflows on that very day, equating to about 5% of the once $9 billion fund. So about $484.9 million in outflows on that very day. So that was a pinch. It did pinch. But all in all, I think, yeah, ETFs are going to give investors something interesting to explain. It's going to be easy to sell their shares, and it's going to explain that really, really, really interesting inflow and outflow. For now, people are still a little skeptical, but it is getting there. Let's note that Ethereum has been the number 2 spot for a very long time, right behind Bitcoin on the coin market cap, and there is a reason for that. It is still extremely solid. All right, then. Now there were some rumors about Donald Trump, bringing in a particular Treasury Secretary, talking about the J.P. Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, BlackRock's Larry Fink. He was considering one of them to bring them in. Of course, with less than 4 months until the US presidential election. Those reports were circulating as at July 23rd, that was about last week, on some social platforms. They said neither Dimon or Fink were part of his cabinet plans. And yeah, well, he has been known to say things sometimes in passing, and people take them seriously. But having them as a Secretary of the Treasury for the US would have been an interesting turn of events. Might have, might have affected the Bitcoin exchange traded fund market quite a lot, because Fink's BlackRock has become a pivotal player in the traded fund markets as at last week. But yeah, that's all I have on the Blockchain Mastery podcast for you today. I'll do what I can to give you some more updates in that space soon enough. But for now, if you would like to join us on Blockchain Mastery podcast anytime soon, all you have to do is send us an email. That's dynamitepodcastnetwork@gmail.com. That's dynamitepodcastnetwork@gmail.com. Can't wait to hear from you.